Every Saturday morning, the Beebe Flea Market comes alive with people, food, all sorts of wares, and even animals. And one of my favorite things out here are these homemade tamales. The Beebe Flea Market is a wonderful ethnic and cultural blend, complete with the aroma of grilled food similar to the open bazaars and markets you would find in larger cities across the country or in other countries.
I've been coming here as long as I can remember. It's kind of a family tradition. My parents and their parents, and I've brought my kids here since they were old enough to walk, and before that, it's just a great place to be. You feel great about being here, and lots of good people and lots of interesting animals, more than you see in most places. We just love it.
Now, I understand you were told not to bring any more animals home.
Every time I come, I usually pick up one or two, and so I brought one with me today so I didn't have to pick up another one. But it's hard not to with all these cute ones around. But yeah, we love it. It's a good family-oriented environment, and it's great. And we've bought pigs, goats, horses, cows, chickens, a little bit of everything. Guinea pigs, yep, everything except for fish. We haven't bought those yet. But yep, it's wonderful. Dad used to bring me out here when I was young, and it's just something I've always liked to do, bringing the kids out.
The variety of animals that are for sale here is also what makes the Beebe Flea Market so popular. Take Sarah Cawthorn and her fan-tailed pigeons.
I had friends that raised pigeons. They raised frillbacks and fantails and Jacobins and all sorts of different types of pigeons. And we got interested in them. They're really easy keepers. They make happy, quiet little sounds. They're beautiful to watch them fly. So we got a couple, and then we got a couple more, and before you know it, we have way too many. That's where the Beebe Flea Market comes in. It's a great place to bring extra livestock up here to sell. You meet all kinds of different people and fanciers of pigeons.
So I take it you've been coming here for quite some time?
We've been here several times, yes. We've been here many times to buy and several times to sell.
Well, I think I found my animal or animals. I told my wife before I left this morning that I was going to find a goat or two to take care of our lawn, and I think I did. And they're, I think they're $2.50 for the pair, so that's a good price. Easy there. They love Cheetos.
I've been coming here, I guess, I moved to Little Rock when I come from Vietnam in 1970. I started coming here around 75, 76, Saturday morning to get in on the bargain. At the time, I was trying to raise a family, and I could find a lot of stuff up here to get me through the week at a lower cost. And I'd come up here and buy the soap, the dishwashing liquid and all that stuff, and look at all the animals. I'm an animal lover. I've been an animal lover all my life. Once I come in from Nam and worked all my life and everything, I'm retired military, went to school for a little bit, but since then, you get them sleepless nights when you're a Vietnam vet. And I just couldn't wait till Saturday morning because I'd be the only one in the house up. And Saturday morning, come daylight, I just head up here. And once I got up here, I just browse around and look at all the people, look at the animals and stuff, and meet a lot of people that you know. You see a lot of people that you know up here. And just a nice place to go on Saturday morning and kill time to the Razorback play.
I like the cilantro and green onions here. So that's 85 cents and then 50 cents. Here, there you go. Yeah. One. Okay, I gave you one. Oh yeah, these are nice. Yeah, very nice. Thank you. Thank you very much. All right, thank you. Thank you. Ah, cilantro.
I've been coming 11 years. Hadn't missed but one or two weekends. And I love it down here.
Well, your quilts are really beautiful.
So at 90-year-old, I'm still a quilting.
That is wonderful. I like your muscadines here too.
We raise all kinds of vegetables too. He does that while I quilt.
Yeah? That is great.
So if you work, you live longer.
There you go. That's
I've
right.
been pushing a quilting machine.
Out here you can find just about everything, and I do mean everything. You need a gas mask? All right, now this is what I've been looking for all day, a spear. Yeah, this is what
Cool.
everyone needs, a spear, huh?
Well, sometimes if you pig hunt and everything like that up around Mountain View, Prim and Mountain View, I do have men that ask me to make spears for them, and they actually tree hunt the pigs from them.
Yep, the Beebe Flea Market. When you come out here, expect pretty much anything. Hey, he took my goat. If you've ever seen the C-130 by the front gate at the Little Rock Air Force Base in Jacksonville and possibly thought that it's just a random C-130 on display, you may want to take another look, because this happens to be the last C-130 to leave Vietnam towards the end of the war. But that's just one part of the story. Tim Nguyen, a second lieutenant with the South Vietnamese Army, was at Tan Son Nhut Air Base as it was taking heavy fire on April 29, 1975. He spotted this C-130 with its cargo ramp still down and decided to board along with 451 other people seeking freedom. It's just almost incomprehensible to imagine 452 people in this plane when you left.
Yes, but reality is that I don't believe pilot know. He knew how many people in the airplane when he took off. Mm-hmm. The fact is that during that time, it's a chaos. The communist is shelling the base constantly, and everybody tried to find opportunity to leave the country. So this airplane is taxiing and have a door open in the back. And every time, coincident or not, I don't know, but when pilot jamming the brake, it pushes people forward, create more space. So people, you know, in the situation, either life or death. Mm-hmm. So regardless, you just jump on. And the loadmaster gave him a credit. He the guy in charge to shut the ram door or not. He kept it open. For what reason, I don't know. because we don't communicate, we don't ask, we just jump in there. And like, it's just standing room only, everybody's standing up there, no such seat belt, there is no such seat, just standing up. I myself, because a background aviator, after the ram door closed, I saw too many people. I wasn't sure that the airplane can take off because it's a C-130A model. The engine is not that powerful. And on the runway, we have one C-130 and this end from Royal Australian Air Force was shot down. Other end, another U.S. Air Force was shot down. So you have between the end of the runway, you have just a space in between and you take off. And that many people, but so what? If it crashes, it crashes because we don't have a choice. So the situation like that, it's okay and nobody even think about what's going to happen next. But just instant, you have to leave, you have to leave. So, and we didn't realize how many people, I myself didn't know that until I come to the United States and worked for Lockheed Martin Corporation and did a little bit of research, and I realized that we have 452 people on the airplane. I said, wow, that is it's a record, but I didn't know that.
The plane was 20,000 pounds overweight, but made it to Thailand. Wynn says it was a last-minute decision to jump aboard the plane as it was actually taxiing.
Even though I know all my family, my parents, my brothers, sisters, everybody is still there. I say, well, it did hard decision to make. Should I stay or should I go? And then I said, if you stay, if the shell hit the bomb or something, it explodes, the whole thing will be damaged and then you get killed too. So finally I said, okay, either I leave or I may be killed. If they capture you, they may kill you too. So I make a decision very quick. At the instant when I decide that I will leave this country or just leave this base, then I saw this airplane taxiing out. Then when I just dropped everything and ran to the airplane. Lucky for me that the pilot previously just jammed on the brake, so had just little space. You know, my position on the airplane is almost at the end of the ramp, right where the parachute door is. So that means I almost like missed the chance. But I'm very happy and feel like I'm lucky I have a chance to leave the country. No thinking. Survivability instinct that make human being do something that later on when you sit down and you think about, you say, wow.
Wow, indeed. Spend some time for yourself by the C-130 at the front gate of the Little Rock Air Force Base and experience a piece of history. Oh, give me a home where the buffalo roam. L.C. Ratchford of near Marshall lives that song, or rather, that life.
Come on, buffalo. Come on, buffalo.
So what inspired or moved L.C. Ratchford to establish a homestead where the buffalo roam?
I watched a show on AETN, and it was one show that changed my life. I saw where other people had started raising buffalo and they were being reintroduced to try to save them from, the extinction which they almost faced. So that one show I decided this is what I'm going to have to do. It was more of an inspiration, and from there it just became an obsession almost of mine. I became a welder where I could build the high steel corrals and working facilities, which you have to have raising these majestic animals. And I continued getting ready for them. So finally, about 15 years ago, I decided I'm going to take the leap of faith, and I bought some. So it just went from there.
Now, I take it it's not exactly like raising cattle, or it's similar.
There's a certain parallel, but buffalo, you've got to remember, they're a wild animal. They still are not domesticated. There's some like you see here that are younger that you can get around. You might even be able to pet one, but they're still, you have to watch them. They're not domesticated animals. But there's other challenges. It's like marketing the meats. I had to create my own market, which I did.
Yeah, because you've got buffalo steaks, you've got jerky, what else?
Oh yes, we have got all the cuts of buffalo that you would see in beef. You know, buffalo is a naturally lean meat. It's got the same amount of potassium the glass of orange juice has. It's very high in iron. It's low in calories, cholesterol, and fat. And something a lot of people don't know, buffalo is the only mammal that's never been known to have cancer.
You might say that other than the bald eagle, the other majestic creature that is a symbol, if you will, of America is the bison. It's been a major part of this country's history and heritage.
The Native Americans used these buffalo for everything. They used them for their food, they used them for clothing, they used them for shelter. And to them, to the American Indians, they were a symbol. They were a symbol of life in general. They were a symbol for their food source. And with the great buffalo herds came life, even for the American Indian. But what a lot of people forget or don't remember is the fact that the white men, when they first came over and settled the plains, when they were going through, they couldn't have survived without the buffalo. But people also think, well, the buffalo were just on the plains. No, they weren't. They were all up through Canada, and as far south as Mexico, and ranged from coast to coast.
Ratchford usually keeps about 30 to 50 head of buffalo on his 500-acre ranch. And just in case you're interested, he does offer ranch stays and tours.
We do offer tours by appointment only. We do have a nice cabin that they can rent, stay here on the farm, and get a feel of really the farm life and how it is to work and be on an operating buffalo ranch, rather than just to see these in a zoo or possibly Yellowstone National Park where they just drive through them. This is a different experience. This is a way of life for me. It's different than a lot of jobs because it's not the 9 to 5, 8 to 5. These animals are top priority. You know, whether you have to be up in the middle of the night assisting one and giving birth, or whether a fence falls over in a major windstorm and you have to get out in the rain to fix it, to fix the fence, or any number of things that goes along with the farming. It takes top priority over everything. It don't matter what you've got planned or what you're going to do. It's the ranching of the buffalo, the care of them, that really is the number one thing.
Now you have one buffalo here, what's Pringles?
Yes.
She's like a prima donna, huh?
Yes, she is. Unfortunately, her mother died giving birth, and we raised her on a bottle. She's been around people all her life. She's still a wild animal, but she's more domesticated because she thinks she's a dog. She is somewhat of a pet, but you still have to watch her and make sure that she doesn't hurt you. The American bison represents what we are as a country. They're very resilient. They were able to come back from almost extinction. They're hardy, and they will be around, I think, forever.
There are quite a few areas around the state that are called Lover's Leap, and one of them happens to be at Queen Wilhelmina State Park atop Rich Mountain. This one is a hiking trail that's about 1 mile in length, so let's check it out. After crossing the state park's mini railroad tracks, the trail itself begins with a fairly easy stroll downhill through the forest along the north slope of Rich Mountain. Lover's Leap Trail is actually a loop trail, and the first section of the trail is also a part of the Washita Trail. It's only about 3/10 of a mile to the actual Lover's Leap overlook, which can be viewed from a large wooden platform. Here you can enjoy a stunning panoramic view of Rich Mountain's south slope and the surrounding Washita National Forest. Rich Mountain is the highest summit in the Washita Mountain Range and is the second tallest peak in Arkansas behind Mount Magazine. The way the story goes about this particular Lover's Leap, according to local legend, a young Native American maiden jumped off of this point after her sweetheart failed to return from a battle. Past the overlook, the trail's difficulty increases during the second half of the loop due to elevation changes and rocky terrain. So you may just want to return back the same way you came on the trail. So if you ever pay a visit to Queen Wilhelmina State Park, take a hike along Lover's Leap Trail. And to view this episode again or any one of our others, visit our website at aetn.org/exploringarkansas. And don't forget to like us on our Facebook fan page. And we'll see you again the next time for another exciting adventure on Exploring Arkansas.